All right, I'm going to give you the only video you need to pass your funded account, and we're going to go through it in 6 bullet points. Let's get started. Number 1, you need to be looking for a high time frame key level of liquidity. Whether that is a fair value gap, a recent buy side liquidity, or a sell side liquidity, you need to be understanding where the market is going to want to go for the day towards your bias. Next, you want to wait for a reaction off that key time frame. If you chose a fair value gap, you want to wait for the rejectment on the fair value gap at that high time frame key level and a close out. If you chose, buy side liquidity, same thing, or sell side liquidity, same thing. Continuation of a new trend. You do not want to enter until you see the trend fully continuating with a possible retracement back into that area and then a rejectment with a break of structure to the downside, confirming that we are creating a new trend of lower lows, lower highs in this case, or higher highs, higher lows. Next thing you want to look for is your entry. You want to enter off a break of structure, liquidity sweep, fair value gap, inverse fair value gap, something like that, something with a better entry point but still a safer route when you're passing the fundeds. Next, you want to exit at a good high liquidity area. So if we do have a fair value gap down here on the 4-hour time frame, we had a 4-hour up here that filled, or a 15-minute, some higher time frame, you want to exit down here halfway through that fair value gap, or maybe right at the top of that fair value gap, waiting for the continuation of the trend of lower lows, lower highs until this area where you can take your liquidity out and boom. Next you want to see is an exit when trade gets invalidated. So if you are in a trade is playing out like this, boom, retrace into here, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower high, you have no liquidity down here to know where to put your take profit or stop loss. I recommend just doing a 1 to 3. But if you are in the trade and the trade reverses where you get a break of structure to the upside, get out of the trade. The trend is gone. Get out of the trade. Take your profits from right there. That is not breaking your trading plan. That is being a smart trader. There is a new trend started. Possibly it could, fake out and then bring to new lows, but most likely once you get a break of structure, it shows, the trend is switching. Next thing I want you guys to do, when you guys are going to these trades, I only want you risking 1 to 3% on a trade. Do not risk anything more than 1 to 3%, because that means you have at most three trades to pass your account. So if you go in and lose all 3 trades, you lose the account. That doesn't matter, because if you only risk 1%, you have 10 trades before you lose the account. Next thing I want you guys to do is classify every single setup into an A, B, or C format. Okay, so what that means is A class format, you're risking 3%, B class 2%, and C class 1%. A C class would be an aggressive entry off just an inverse fair value gap and maybe a lower time frame fair value gap right under. Something like this. And we have a fair value gap down here hoping for the retracement. That's a C class setup, since we have an aggressive entry purely off this inverse fair value gap, hoping for a retracement down to this liquidity right here. Now, a B class setup would be this same thing right here, but a liquidity sweep here, push above the high, liquidity sweep, and a fair value gap here that we get retraced into, and then boom, break a structure to the downside right here and right here. And this would not be an inverse value gap. This would be a normal fair value gap right there. That's a B class setup. A C class setup would be an order block, liquidity sweep, fair value gap, retracement, continuation of the trend. That's an A class setup. That is a setup where you know almost certain that the market's going to go in your direction. Next thing I want you guys doing is going to Forex Factory, downloading this app, or opening this browser. I do not want you guys trading if there are any red news candles at all. No CPI, no PPI, nothing high impact. Only trade if we have yellow folders or even orange folders if they aren't, super effective. But I want you guys trading on low news data days. The next thing is know the market's not going to give you a trade every day. I've gone weeks without trading, especially with trading with live funds. The market's not going to give you an entry every day. Especially when I'm trading, more amounts of money. I'm not even going to look at taking a C class setup. I'm only taking an A, really, or sometimes even a B. And the third biggest thing I could tell you guys is just stick to your plan. Go out there, set a plan, stick to the plan. Win or loss, stick to your plan. Become a disciplined trader. And that's all you need to know to pass your funded account. If you stick to those 3 rules, you're going to pass your funded account and make a lot of money and become a profitable trader. So that's all I got for you guys today. Thank you.